All right, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes time to write your essay, there's really only two things you need. You need your documents, and you also need your say, mean, matter outline. Remember, this is the chart that we have been using when it comes to how organizing our essays. We use this as a pre-writing strategy. If you do not have a copy of the pink document packet at home, okay, I'm going to make a note on here just to remind you that the document packet for you is pink. So if you look through your binders, your folders, you should have it at home. Okay, if you were here Friday before our last Friday in school, I gave you a paper copy of the outline. If you do not have it, or rather use a computer, I have the links here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the link that will take me to the document. It's just a PDF, so when you click on the link, you're going to need to make sure open up that link. Okay, and then also you make sure you open up the outline or have the paper versions in front of you. All right. So let's start by just reminding what we're working on. Remember, we are trying to figure out why the Roman Empire fell apart. I really like this little packet. It has background essays, it has information about each document, it has some activities for you to help you if you want, but you don't have to do any of it except use these documents, right? Remember, the documents are your evidence. You need to use a minimum of two different documents in your essay, because you're supposed to have two reasons why the empire fell apart. We will be referring back to these documents throughout the activity, so please make sure you have them ready to go. For this first video, we're going to really focus on writing our hook or our topic sentence plus our introduction paragraph. We put it all together, it makes an intro paragraph. All right. So first, you want to write something that's interesting about your topic. We are writing about Rome. You want to start your essay off with something that the reader is that's going to make the reader want to continue to read your essay. Now, be careful. I've seen a lot of people saying things like, "Have you ever wondered?" or "Did you know?" Blah blah blah. You don't want to talk to the reader directly like that. It's really more of a statement about Rome or about the fall of Rome that the reader might find interesting. An example, or if you're ever struggling, I like to think about establishing time and place, which you will do in the next paragraph. So we're going to skip ahead into this, or the next part of the paragraph, excuse me. All right. If you can go ahead and answer these questions, make it into several sentences together, that will be the bulk of your introduction paragraph. When was Rome founded? Meaning, when did Rome start? When did the Roman Empire start? How big was the Roman Empire? How much land did it take over? How many different parts of the world? You could mention some of those parts of the world, and maybe some just details about life in the Roman Empire before it started to decline or fall apart. Also, maybe mention how long the Roman Empire lasted. It would be really nice for the reader to understand that. So, after you've done that, the last sentence in your paragraph is your claim statement. Many of you did this before we left for break, but some of us, I know, did not necessarily finish this. So let's remind of what this can look like. Writing your thesis statement, you're answering the big question. There were several contributed factors to the fall of the Roman Empire, but the two primary reasons that Rome fell were blank and blank. So you need two different reasons why the Roman Empire fell apart. Now, you're going to get those reasons directly from your documents, if you remember. So for me, I'm going to use one that we did together. Document A shows emperors, and it shows how many emperors in this short 50-year time period in Rome were assassinated or were killed, and they were not in charge for very long, which we discussed is bad for Rome. So I'm going to use that as one of my reasons. I'm going to say, blah, 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 blah. Two primary reasons Rome fell were the short. Actually, let's reword it. Let's say were the lack of stability with the Roman leadership, or say Roman emperors. How about that? You don't necessarily have to word it like that. You could say because of emperors being assassinated, because of emperors not being in charge for long. I'm going to say the lack of stability, meaning there's always a new guy in charge. That creates a lot of chaos, a lot of problems. I'm going to go back to my documents and look for a second reason. I'm going to explore a little bit, explore a little bit. I'm going to use document C and document D. Foreign invasion. We know that different certain time periods in Rome, in about a 50 to 100-year period, you have many other different groups of people who are coming into Roman territory, trying to invade, or maybe just migrating and moving. And as these groups like the Huns and the Visigoths and the Ostrogoths and the Vandals, I'm going to go ahead and circle some of these names. Vandals, Huns, Ostrogoths. All right, as these groups are moving into Roman territory, they're going to obviously probably come into contact with the Roman military, and some people might think that's an invasion. So I'm going to go back to our organizer, and I'm going to write foreign invasion. Okay, so those are going to be my two reasons: lack of stability with Roman empires and foreign invasion. And I will make sure to use direct evidence when I get to my body paragraphs, which is coming up next.